The following podcast is intended for mature audiences. If you enjoy our work, please like, comment, subscribe, and follow the links in the description. Thanks for your support, and enjoy.
Greetings and salutations, listener. It is I, Eric J. Chucky, joined as always by the boy.
Hey.
This is a Two Nerds podcast, and I just got tinnitus in my left ear.
Oh, that's probably bad.
I don't even know what happened. It'll go away in a minute.
Well, while he waits for that to go away, we're going to talk briefly about what kind of episode we're going to be doing for you today.
Bad.
Well, I mean, spoilers. So we've got some teasers to talk about, some new stuff from various Capcom games. Bork will be more excited about those than I will.
Yeah, actually, the VGA in general dropped a lot of information when that doesn't usually happen.
No, not at all.
And as I understand it, I sure as fuck didn't watch it, but it actually felt more like a legitimate awards show. Like, even the awards they handed out were like, okay, that makes sense. As opposed to previous years where, you know, the fucking Gillette man showed up and shit was like, what? Why is this even nominated?
Like, okay. So, listener, can I be real with you for a second? Can I strip away, and sit down on Front Street and give you the reels? I don't give a fuck about award shows.
No, I don't either. Like,
I don't, and I haven't for most of my life.
I wouldn't mind winning an award. And, like, in that sense, like the Steam Awards, I nominated Dropsy for something about a hug. I don't remember. But, like,
I just, like, I can't no award show. Not the Emmys, not the Oscars, not the Streamies, not the Razzies.
I like the Slammies because there's usually funny stuff that happens.
Yeah, but the Slammies is an actual award show. That shit's a work.
But they let the fans vote, and that means it's real.
It's real to me, damn it. But I don't care. I just don't,
Yeah, I mean, like,
I've never given a fuck.
The entire, feeling I would get from watching an award show can also be encompassed in a tweet before the character limit was increased.
Just like, blank wins Best Picture. Okay.
Cool. I'm really happy for those
blank
people.
Wins Game of the Year. Sure. Every game that I've ever really enjoyed came out with a Game of the Year edition.
You know what? Actually, I think we can fucking pad this motherfucker. For some clarification.
I was trying to make it look natural. Fuck you.
For some clarification, if the weirdness of the podcast hasn't been obvious, we've been getting ahead of ourselves intentionally.
It's kind of nice to have a lead in case shit comes up, and I had to go out of town for my day job, and
so we haven't recorded a podcast in eons.
It's been close to a month, I think.
No, we recorded Thor Ragnarok, and that was
true.
A couple of weeks ago.
That's
true.
All
right, so the actual winners here.
Oh boy.
Let's see. Game of the Year was Breath of the Wild.
Okay, sure, yeah.
Yeah, sure. Best Game Direction was Nintendo. Fine. Best Narrative was What Remains of Edith Finch. I ain't never fucking played that shit.
Don't know what the fuck that is. I literally don't know what that is.
I know what it is, and I think my wife would really like it. I almost would, but anyway. Best Action Game was Wolfenstein 2. I don't know if I agree with that, but I don't know what the fuck else was nominated, so.
Yeah, whatever, sure.
Best Art Direction, Cuphead, yeah. Best Role-Playing Game, Persona 5. Yeah, that came out this year. It was the role-playing game that came out this year.
Fucking hurtful, but true.
Best Fighting Game, Injustice 2, yes, hands down. Industry Icon Award, Carol Shaw. I don't even know who the fuck that is. Carol Shaw. Video Game Designer. 3D Tic-Tac-Toe. Activision.
Word for Atari,
Sure, why not?
One of the old school. Sure,
Yeah,
okay.
Good for you, Carol. Best Family Game, Super Mario Odyssey. Okay.
It's a Mario game, I'm sure.
Best Action Adventure, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. I've heard Super Mario Odyssey is like the sequel to Mario 64.
Yeah, I've heard that a lot, too.
Basically. Student game, Level Squared, never heard of it. Best Score, Nier Automata. I have not heard it. Best Audio Design, Hellblade. Actually, you know what? the more I hear about Hellblade, the more I would like to play it. It sounds cool, and then I actually saw the visuals, and I was like, oh, damn. You look pretty good.
I like the category. I don't fucking... best ongoing game. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that category because that
nice.
recognizes continued excellence.
Yeah, that's cool. But Hellblade's that one where, like, the voices in your head whisper shit at you. Like,
yeah, that's the one where you're crazy.
Yeah, and it's like all the... And they handle it really well, like the actual mental illness, but it's like having all of the Dark Souls comments read aloud to you as you're walking.
Amazing, just ahead.
This is a great place to throw yourself off a cliff. Keep going, you can do it. Believe in yourself, skeleton. Yeah, best performance was the lady in that. Games for Impact, same game. Best ongoing game was Overwatch, sure. Best handheld, Metroid Samus Returns. Yeah, AR2.
I'm given to understand it was a Metroid game, so...
Yeah. Best mobile game, Monument Valley 2. Fuck if I know. Best VR game, Resident Evil 7. Yeah, I don't play VR games because reasons, money ones. Speaking of which, Patreon books description by. But I wouldn't buy a fucking VR set with them. I'll tell you that much. But I've seen people play it, and wow, like that's the exact kind of experience you want in VR if you like horror. Is that?
Best strategy game, Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle, otherwise known as the least necessary game to ever be thought of.
But you know what? No, I don't even know. That's best strategy. Maybe most popular. Yeah,
well, I mean, like...
But that's what an award is, right?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. No, that's not what an award is. An award is random. An award, there is absolutely nothing telling us who picked these.
Yeah.
Who picked these and how they got picked. At the very least, with the fucking Oscars, there's a bunch of dudes. They're part of the Academy. They're all like actors and directors or something, and they vote. Those guys vote. And like the People's Choice Awards, I presume those are a work, but they say they're the people's choosing.
It's industry. They have a committee from hardware manufacturers, Microsoft, Tony.
Microsoft Tony.
Tony. The Tony game sittings.
No, Microsoft Tony. I heard Microsoft Tony.
It's fucking Johnny Turbo for a new generation. Oh, fuck. Microsoft, Sony, Nintendo, AMD, EA, Activision, Rockstar, Telltale, Ubisoft, Valve, and Warner Brothers are the people who are on the committee. So, but yeah, it's these 8 motherfuckers' opinions, you know. That being said, best sports/racing is Forza 7. Best multiplayer is PUBG. Indie is Cuphead. Debut indie is Cuphead. I don't know what the difference there is, but whatever. Oh, debut studio indie game. Okay. Best horror stealth game, The Evil Within 2. I've heard information that would detract from that, but whatever. Most anticipated game, that's an award for a game that ain't out yet, The Last of Us Part 2.
I'm sorry, is that the Get Hype Award for Best Vaporware?
Doom. Or not Doom. Duke Nukem is coming out soon. Trending Gamers, Dr. Disrespect. I've not seen any of his shit, but whatever. Best esports game, Overwatch. Best esports player, Faker. Okay.
Yeah, fair.
Best team, Cloud9. No, nice try. And Chinese Fan Game Award, JX3HD, developed by Kingsoft Corporation. What a weird fucking award.
Yeah, that's really weird.
It's like super specific.
Like, that feels like they put in that category to give that game an award.
I guess, yeah.
Also, guys, no, I'm sorry. Best esports team, SKT. Like, I don't want it to be true, but it is, though.
Yeah. Well, no, they lost.
Did they lose? Who did they lose
to? They lost to Samsung, I believe.
So, fucking either Samsung or SKT.
Yeah.
Best esports team, 4 Korean dudes with glasses and a mo haircut, okay?
Yeah, and please see our podcast on, the fuck was the name of that series?
Good game.
Good game. All I could think of was esports people.
Best esports team, esports people. That's the
fucking
best
travesty.
That's the best esports team name.
Yeah. Oh, man.
But, like, that's the thing is... And it's not just this one. It's not just this one. Like,
No.
I can get behind an award show for like one person doing their awards for the year, because then I can give a fuck about that one person's opinion.
Yeah, ironically, don't mention better shit on your shit, but we watch a co-optional podcast, and I like the co-opties. I wish they took them a little bit more seriously, but I understand why they don't, because at the end of the day, it doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't matter how long and loud I rail to you about whether this game sucks or that game sucks. You're going to make your own fucking opinions.
But, like... Or... I can get behind, like... the award show as a game. Like, these are the ones that are nominated. Which one do you think will win? And then you...
Sure, like YouTube does its rewards. Or awards, rather.
Or, like, Oscar pools. Like, you can see... Because there's certain things that if you know the audience that decides that award, there's certain things you can kind of bet against. But I don't give a shit about who actually wins the award. I just give a shit about whether or not I'm right.
Like, it's a nice... That's a little too much fantasy football for me. But it's a nice... feather in the cap. Recognition is important, right? Especially and even in an industry where, I don't know, man, there's so many differing opinions on your product. You can look out there and see copies flying off the shelves and then numbers in multiples of those copies sending you hate mail every day that you should fucking die because how dare you put Raiden in a DC game.
Or, like... That's the thing, though. Like, superhero movies get completely snubbed at all movie, like, award shows.
Yeah, and then the other way around happens, too. When these incredible narratives that... I mean, not Thor Ragnarok, but...
No,
like,
Thor was just fun.
It's just fun. But when these incredible narratives that are very emotional and,
They get absolutely snubbed, but that's not stopped anyone from making more and more of them for increasingly higher budgets, because they make money.
It's weird. The entire like the cult like atmosphere around it is very strange.
And that happens. Like, I feel like an award show is either a complete farce that is designed to be humorous, but not much more than that, like the co-opties.
Sure.
Or it takes itself entirely too fucking seriously. Like, who wins the Emmy for Best Supporting Actor matters at all. It doesn't, and it never will.
I mean, it matters to them, but like...
But I don't care.
Well, sure. No, I'm not... It's like awards are like a quantum thing.
I get it mattering to them, and I get it mattering for like industry stuff. Like,
sure.
If you're a really highly decorated actor who's won a lot of awards,
well,
that shows a level of quality in your work. If you're a really highly decorated game studio or game, that shows a level of quality that can be roughly agreed upon. I get that.
And I think I can pinpoint it here.
But why we gotta have shows?
I can pinpoint the reason here. This is, to the entertainment industry, what the dirt sheets are to wrestling fans. People just want to make sure their favorite hard-working backstage talents are getting over and getting what they deserve.
God, and I don't give a fuck about dirt sheets either. That tracks.
So, yeah. Spent good fucking 10 minutes just talking about how stupid awards are. This is great. Let me go through the Capcom deluge because the boy can just yawn and be over there by himself for a while.
I'm gonna be on the internet, excuse me.
First of all, Mega Man 11. Fuck. Like, I didn't even watch the stream because I was like, yeah, I don't feel like being disappointed today. I kind of thought maybe they were going to announce a new game, but I figured it would be one I didn't give a shit about. Like, hey guys, we're finally bringing you Mega Man Legends 3, which I'd be really happy about that for the people who care about Mega Man Legends, but...
You aren't one of those people.
I'm not one of those people. And I feel like it's a great injustice that the game doesn't exist, especially with how much work the fans put into making it happen, but, I'm not going to play it, so, unless it looked really good. Unless it did something to change my mind. But no, it's just straight up Mega Man 11, and I like it for a couple of reasons. One, it's another Mega Man game in the original series. Two, the visual style is really evocative of a Take That to Mighty Number 9.
Yeah, I believe I saw in the first 10 nanoseconds of watching the trailer that you showed me, I said, oh, look, it's Mighty Number 9, but good.
Well, I kind of figured it would have to happen eventually, because with the amount of support that, financial and otherwise, that was garnered for that project, Capcom had to go, oh, people still want Mega Man, huh? All right. Well, we got a Mega Man.
Well,
I mean,
money, I guess. I mean,
is there competition? Konami doesn't do nothing anymore. Okay, yeah, sure, why not? Yeah, and it looks good. From what I've heard, it plays like a Mega Man game, despite the newer animations and stuff. I like that Mega Man has a young adult's voice, but an adult's voice, so it's not like Mega Man 8 again. Yeah. Also, the X series is getting released in an anthology collection on major consoles. That's pretty awesome.
especially for people who like the X series.
I like the X series just fine. I wish I could buy Mega Man 7 separate. Because I have 9 and 10, and I don't want 8, so I don't need the second anniversary collection. But whatever. Yeah, I'm beyond psyched. I'm tired as hell right now, so like you can't hear it in my voice, but I was jazzed.
He really was. He was super hyped. Fair warning about this. We'll get to... there's probably at least one game we'll talk about that I care about. But a bunch of these are Capcom games, and I've made a discovery. Turns out I don't give a fuck about basically any Capcom game. Ever.
Which is really interesting, but also tracks. That's why I'm trying to go through it kind of quick here. Street Fighter, as well, announced their Season 3, and aside from G, it's a lot of fan-pleasing. And I think that's a good decision. People have been wanting Blanca, they've been wanting Sagat, they've been wanting Sakura, they've been wanting, who the hell else was announced? I don't remember, and I don't have it in front of me. You can go see the trailer for yourself. It's pretty kick-ass.
I like Crazy President. Or
that's G.
Yeah.
Definitely something to look forward to. I'm probably not going to be playing much Street Fighter in the next year, but once I get back to it, because I'm going to have Ninja Turtles soon. So, what are other fighting games? That's been pretty awesome. Knowing about that, looking forward to that. I like the new changes they're making with the second style of V triggers. I like all the updates and balance passes they're doing. I feel like the Killer Instinct model is the best model for fighting games. And I've said this 1,000 times before, and I'll keep saying it. If that's what Street Fighter V is doing, good. I wouldn't mind a new game just to bring us up to the most recent place chronologically. Because if you all go to my Violent Profiles video, I mentioned in there somewhere that the timeline is fucked. And it's not... We're not in the most recent game right now. We're a couple of games before then. So it would be nice to just be sitting at, what does the future hold, instead of this nebulous sort of in-between era. Chronology, man. But all that looks good. Very excited about that. I like that they just keep adding more shit, that there's a Season 3. I wouldn't mind a Fighter Pack 4 for Injustice 2, Mm-hmm. Seems like there was another Capcom game. There was a bunch of other games that we did not give a shit about. Bayonetta 3, people are pretty excited about that. Monster Hunter.
Yeah, people fucking lost their shit over Monster Hunter.
And it looks pretty cool, but
Then they did a new trailer for another David Cage game.
Sure.
Those exist.
I like them. Brandy's excited.
I don't like them. I think I'm forced to just conclude that I don't like those.
We all have our setbacks in gaming, our types of games we can't enjoy.
As I understand, you can play Brandy's told me many times you can play the the David Cage game that comes after Heavy Rain with a cell phone. I shouldn't. My poor monkey hands should be able to handle that. I don't care. I want to hug Willem Dafoe, and then I never need to play it again.
I need to play it again to continue hugging Willem Dafoe. Have you been up for 10 hours hugging Willem Dafoe? Yeah. Don't judge me. No, I don't. Trying to think if there's anything else I need to get out of the way before, the other news. Shadows Die Twice or whatever the teaser line was for the new FromSoft game.
It's probably Bloodborne 2.
It looks like Bloodborne 2. I've not played Bloodborne, but based on the image.
And I'm just going to go ahead and be hype man for my man White Raven here. You have played and beaten Dark Souls 1 and 2, and you are currently playing Dark Souls 3. Is that not correct?
That is correct. All this within the last year. Blow on fingernails, dust against shirt. There's been a lot of rumors swirling about a remastered Dark Souls for modern consoles, the original one. They pulled Demon Souls servers down about a month ago, so I wouldn't be surprised if maybe they updated that. And honestly, I think it might be a better move because it had such a small audience being a PS3 only game. So that might not be a bad idea for them to do. Maybe that's Shadows Die Twice. You had to deal with the mist. I don't know. Who knows? But Miyazaki and the people who work for him.
Presumably. He's not Kojima.
No, he's not Kojima. That was another new trailer we got. I didn't watch all of it. Because it's what's it going to tell me?
Norman Reedus is in this game.
He sure is. Fucking Mads Mikkelsen doesn't know what this game's about.
Kojima-san.
I don't know if I'll ever play Death Stranding, but I'm glad it exists. I'm glad that this guy has somehow accrued enough money to just be a weird motherfucker at video games.
This is happening now. Ta-da!
Okay.
Good, I did it. Moving on. I have questions? That's too bad. And then he just walks away.
Don't we all?
But, I find it interesting that, it's just a pure coincidence. It's not like I have anything against the studio, but I just can't think of a single Capcom game, specifically, that I fucking care about.
That's super interesting for me, too, because it was so much of my childhood, between, the Disney licenses they had, and, Mega Man, obviously, Street Fighter, this is kind of the shit I grew up on. It happens. There was a pretty popular studio that I didn't really play much of back in day, but couldn't tell you for the life of me what it is right now. I don't fucking...
But I think it's time we get to the last piece of news. The piece of news I'm super hyped about.
Yeah, and I can't think of a joke to make. So, looks like we're getting Soul Calibur 6.
It does look like we're getting Soul Calibur 6, and more than getting Soul Calibur 6, it looks like Soul Calibur 6 might be a reboot.
Yes, which I think is a wise idea. I'm not against... I was watching a video on YouTube the other day. Somebody, I'm sorry, I don't have your name pulled up. I'm sure it could be any number of YouTubers, was talking about fighting game sins that they need to stop doing. And one was that you need to keep your core roster through every game. I disagree with that.
Yeah, no, that's boring.
Yeah, especially if, the larger your roster gets, the more people are going to be considered core, And it would be awesome to do the WWE thing and increase your roster exponentially every year, but that's just not feasible, especially in a game that contains as many, idiosyncrasies as a fighting game, frame datas and balancing and shit. Braun Strowman doesn't need to be just as powerful as fucking Heath Slater. Whereas Batman and Superman better be on par.
Right, exactly.
So I was cool with the change-up. Theoretically, in Soul Calibur 5, I just really don't think the execution was good. Between having a really small roster, having different movesets taken up by the same characters, and having, one of the best things about Soul Calibur is the character creator. Again, if you check out my videos, at some point in one of them, the Violent Profiles videos, I talk about how much I like character creation, and I do. That's the reason I play WWE games. It's gonna sell me on something, even if it's not good. I'll be like, wow, yeah, but that character creator though. And in previous Soul Calibur games, they had even like extra move sets for your created fighters that the regular roster didn't have, and
which is super neat because it gave you incentive to make at least a couple guys.
Yeah, it added a lot of depth to the game, and it was interesting. And I'm not saying they need to do that, but like the move sets they did have, like the Monkey King guy, and it's been forever since I played 5, so excuse me for not remembering the names, but
I mean, he was Sun Wukong.
Basically. He had a staff, and he acted like a silly monkey about it. So if I wanted to play a character with a staff, they're a silly monkey. We have Keelik's fucking model in the game, but he's Edgemaster now, so he doesn't use his staff like a regular sane person. I have to be hungry all the time and balance on it at the end of every fight. Like...
And Wolfman, the wolf time of the Wolfman.
Yeah, like that cool cross-handle sword he had, that was interesting. There was a lot of interesting stuff there, but like, I had a wolf bro. It just felt restrictive, and like they didn't open the roster up. As much as people criticized for, oh, you got rid of so many principal characters, they also carried over a lot of principal characters and didn't add a whole bunch. It felt like they just took away. Soul Calibur 4, I want to say it was
Soul Calibur 4 was really good.
4 added so many good characters and really just
refined characters that had been added, and just like there was so much right with Soul Calibur 4 that 5 felt like a real step back.
Yeah, it really did.
Complete side note, I figured out the Capcom games I give a shit about.
Okay.
I don't hate Resident Evil.
Oh yeah, they do Resident Evil.
Marvel vs. Capcom. And Devil May Cry. The first couple were good. That's it. Like, I just looked through their whole gameography. That's it. That's all I care about. And even Marvel vs. Capcom, let's be real, it's mostly just the Marvel fighters I give a shit about, and then there's some Capcom fighters that are cool. But I just wanted to make a side note of that, because I felt the need to research it.
I feel like Marvel vs. Capcom is such a clusterfuck. Like,
it really is. But I don't... For Soul Calibur, I'm hoping they aim more for 4 than 5. 5 felt like they changed a bunch of shit for the sake of changing it.
Yeah, it just really... It didn't sing. And... Like, and it fell to a lot of the negativity. Like, it had a story mode, but it had the story mode. There weren't any tournament ladders. I mean, there were, but there weren't. There weren't character endings anymore. It was just...
Like, you couldn't even...
The quest of
You
Patroclus.
couldn't even turn off the timer.
Yeah, that was kind of rough.
Because when we play Soul Calibur, we play, like, chess Soul Calibur. So we end up sitting around staring at each other like the scene out of the movie Hero, just like having the fight in our heads for long periods of time.
Yeah.
And you can't do that if you have a timer.
Well, and speaking of which, it seems like my Great Equalizer might be back, because it seems like there's more parries.
Boo.
Yeah.
Boo.
You don't get to just school me anymore. And this without hours and hours of practice, like Injustice, where you still school me anyway.
I don't know how that happens. Like, there's a part of my subconscious, like, he must be throwing these, because I've seen him play for hours, and I haven't touched it. I only touch it during our fighting game tournaments, really, these days, and I just pick it up and then just flatten you.
Such is my curse. I'm not editing that out, by the way. You get to enjoy that cough. Rolling it. But anyway, yeah, so it seems like a reboot. Sophidia is back, and she was dead, so that's good.
I like the idea of a reboot. I want to play... Look, I love old, broken, like...
Pissed off about guns, Mitsurugi.
Yeah, old, pissed off about guns, just like... The equivalent of, like, an angry old salary man. I love Takeshi Sunshine Mitsurugi. But
4 people just got that joke.
And for those 4 people, it was hilarious. But I don't care. I don't, like... don't care to see new Mitsurugi. It's like I've been saying about like various superheroes. I've seen enough Batmans that I'll watch any Batman you want to give me.
Sure.
I have so many good ones that I'm up for the challenge. I have many good Mitsurugis that I can go play. If I really want to play old Mitsurugi, I can go play Soul Calibur 4 and enjoy that.
Yeah.
I'm interested in this new young, like, brash sort of hero Mitsurugi. I'm interested in seeing where they go with that. I'm interested in seeing where they go with the rest of the people. It seems like they're introducing at least one new character.
Mm-hmm. Someone's got a dual blade. That's interesting. And there's so many theoretical places you can go. Now, I try not to do this. You guys know that. But my brain kind of wandered with this because I'm pretty excited. What if we had Voldo before he went super crazy? You know? What if we had Maxie's teacher back again, whose name escapes me, but he was in Soul Edge?
Soul Edge, yeah.
You know, there's all these possibilities of characters they could bring back. And at the same time, it's also like, oh no, we're not going to have Tira. Is that her name? The ring?
Yeah, Tira, the ring lady.
Not going to have Tira. We're not going to have Nightmare as we know him. We're not going to have Setsuka.
Yeah, Setsuka's probably not going to be in there.
Yeah, because she's like Mitsurugi's student and he's young. So, you know, I lose out on some characters I really like.
Raphael. That's going to hurt. That's going to sting.
Why would we not have Raphael as a vampire?
Because he's a newer character. They might want to avoid him for the reboot.
I mean, like, not really new. It's been around since Soul Calibur, hasn't it? No, Soul Calibur 2.
Was it 2 or 3?
But still, he's a vampire. I mean...
If we get him, yay, because he's my fave.
Sure. Well, and you know what? If they give me my moveset for Setsuko...
fine, whatever. Who gives a shit?
I'd stab you with my umbrella broom. Labello / Dampierre, if we don't have his moveset, I'm going to be pretty sad. Because, God, what entertaining fun that was. But give us stuff. Give us variety. Give us lots of moves. Let me be able to make lots of characters. I while away time making Final Fantasy XPs in that game. And I did League of Legends ones.
Li Long,
yeah. And you know what? If I don't get her, I can get regular Keelik, hopefully, or some dude with a staff who isn't a monkey.
Keelik's master, maybe?
Yeah, sure.
Like, Li Long is the name of Maxie's teacher.
There's a lot of potential for stuff you can do there. And looking at the fighting, like the actual mechanics, from what you can discern from the trailer and the fighting clip that they showed at some point, it seems like they've got a lot of interesting ideas. They really have taken a lot of shit from the new Tekken game. And while I like Soul Calibur way more than Tekken in terms of like flow and fluidity,
I do too, actually. Like, over the years, I've gotten worse at Tekken. That's indisputable. I've gotten much worse at Tekken because I'm slow and old now. But I just also like Soul Calibur more. They're very similar games, but they're different, and the differences make Soul Calibur a more enjoyable experience.
I'd have to play the new one to tell you, but if it's... I'm not even going to say my standards are that high. I feel like they're on a, reasonable plane. If the game is as good as I think it's going to be, I would say my two favorite fighting games right now are Injustice 2 and Soul Calibur 6. Like, just mechanically speaking, I love that shit.
If Soul Calibur 6 lives up to the hype?
Not even the hype. Like, if it's just...
As good as 4.
If it's at least as good as 5 in terms of gameplay, we're fine. I love Soul Calibur.
So, before Soul Calibur 6 comes out, as in right now, what are your two favorite fighting games?
Well, right now, my two favorites? Definitely Injustice 2 still, but...
Would it be Soul Calibur 4? Would it be...
No. It's just... There's so many issues with that game. So many disappointments. That's a tough question, man. Can I cheat and say Mortal Kombat X?
Sure.
I've been really disillusioned by Capcom lately, and I do like Street Fighter, but I feel like it at this point Street Fighter V is trying too hard to be some other game.
Street Fighter 2 Turbo?
No, a non-Street Fighter game.
but I am cautiously hype about Soul Calibur 6. Mm-hmm. I want to see more before I start getting real hype, but like you're gonna have to fuck up pretty hard to destroy my hype entirely.
Yeah, because we still enjoyed our time with Soul Calibur 5 for as lackluster as it was as a Soul Calibur game. So,
I really like Siegfried in that game.
He should still be in it. He's not Nightmare.
It's true.
Spoiler, Siegfried was Nightmare. Actually, that was another thing that fucking pissed me off is when in Soul Calibur 5, Raphael was Nightmare.
But he just fought like Nightmare.
But yeah, he just fought like Nightmare.
I wanted to see Raphael as Nightmare, and Nightmare fights like Raphael.
Yeah.
With like just a more aggressive moveset. Which, I mean, given how I play Raphael, might have meant that Nightmare would be my new favorite character.
Yeah. So yeah, leave in the comments your opinions on award shows. Like and subscribe.
This has been a weird episode, I'm not gonna lie.
Dude, I'm just bushed.
Same. We've had a rough day. It's been stressful. I just got back into town.
But we like you, listener. We gotta record that podcast.
I don't want you to go a week without us. So
you get withdrawals. You show up at the door. You're like, "Hey guys, could you just talk about video games for a while? Have you seen any bad movies lately?" And I'm like, "Dude, I am calling the cops presently."
I can't add to that bit. Everything's better when nerds talk about it.